code, but make sure to use Prime because you get an extra 25 cents bonus on every gallon on your first 50 gas.
It's Ashley's biggest friends and family event of the year. 1 week only, March 15th through the 22nd. Save up to 25% store-wide or get interest-free financing for up to 72 months. Plus a chance to win your furniture purchase for free. Only at Ashley.
Now, at this point, Perkins has admitted
Hello, everyone.
Vivian James' home around the time of the
Trying to figure out.
and is in possession of her car. Obviously, this is not Perkins, but then he makes just a stunning claim.
Who touched him? Who touched him? Who touched his apple? You shot him?
That fuck.
Why you gonna shot him?
Oh, I don't want fucking green screen.
Shifting the blame through a direct accusation that Rashard Simmons is
Hey, Cricket, how you doing? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to do the subscriber-only mode, but it's not working for me. Can you hear me all right? Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me put this on this thing right here. Sounds good? Okay, great. Thank you. So I started working on my tank for my next dart frogs. Picture's good too. Thank you, Cricket. Hold on, let me lower my TV. I was watching Midas Touch. So and then I was like, you know what? I gotta get this tank started.
This is a mentor. This is someone who he was in telephone.
Just gotta turn that down. Picture is good. Okay, good. I can't figure out how to do subscriber only mode, so it's a little confusing. It's a little. I know, me too. I love Midas Touch. They're so good, and they're so accurate on everything that they talk about. They are like, it's a great network, whatever you want to call it. So I'm sitting here working on this. This is the piece my friend made for me. It's like a butterus tree root, kind of like what you would see in those enclosures at Nana's, when Nana goes to the zoo. So what I'm doing now is these are called cork panels. But this one that I purchased, they're not a full panel. So I got ones that are already pre-broken up, basically. So you would get a panel which would be flat like that, and it would be flat on this side as well. The whole thing would be flat, and then you just pick off this to give it that rugged kind of a look. So the butterus tree root is made out of foam. What else did he use? He used he shaped it out first, and then he made he did what's called zoopoxy. His name is Mike Gravia. He's on YouTube too. His first couple of videos that he just put out are of this build that he did. So it was hi Wimvin Gestel. Okay, that's amazing. Thank you. I really do enjoy it. I love doing this. It's so what I'm running into right now with doing these particular already pre-shaped, I guess you could say, cork panels, is that I got gaps everywhere. So I wasn't anticipating on using spray foam because this kind of makes it so that you don't have to. But being that what happened in the dart frog community is that everybody got into using these cork panels, and you cannot find them in stock anywhere. So I did find some, but they're tiles, so they're small and they're thin. I actually use them for like the bottoms of small fish tanks just to protect my furniture. So I mean, I can break, I could put two pieces, I could silicone two pieces together and kind of break it up a bit if I really needed to. So, but I am going to have to use silicone because I don't want any of my frogs to kind of get stuck. But the gap ain't bad. So as I'm working, I'm literally stuffing this stuff behind here with the silicone. So, and it's all aquarium safe silicone. This one I put here because it kind of has a ledge. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to use that for one of the frogs could just sit there. You know, I'm going to kind of try to pack this out small enough so the frog can stand on there. I should have put it in a different spot. I didn't even realize it until I siliconed it in. But they'll figure it out. They'll be able to hop around. Not only that, but some of the gapping in here, it's not bad. But what's going to end up happening is this is going to grow in, and it's going to be like moss, and plants are going to be covering the majority of it. So as far as the back, where it's like, I got to get some of these old roots off from, this was a different build. And it's really not going to matter because it's just going to get covered anyway. So it is very natural. I love the way this came out. It's going to be like my favorite piece in the whole entire, like, every single one of my tanks. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, this tank is in my living room, but I spend a decent amount of time in the living room. But the other issue I ran into too is they were sold out of black aquarium safe silicone. So I just I got clear, but I'm not like bugging out about it. It's not a big deal. So it doesn't really matter because I'm not doing like the way I used to do the backgrounds. Like here, I'll show you. Let me slide this back. The background in this particular tank over here, that one was done with spray foam, and this is what I was saying, how the moss will just grow. So on this spray foam that I did in this background, there is cork. Like, it looks like tree bark almost, and you can't even tell it's there because the plant between the plants and all the moss that just naturally has grown in a lot, like all of my enclosures actually. So I'm not too overly concerned about some of the spots where you can see like the wall a little bit of the glass. It's just gonna grow in so insanely that it's not even gonna really matter. So, but yeah. So what I'm doing here is kind of like playing puzzle piece and trying to figure out where the best spot is. I think I pretty much, yeah, I'm good on this side as far as I might have a little stick a little bit in there to help them out. But as far as the bottom where the frogs probably will be wandering around here, and down here I've packed it in with the cork panel. So it's pretty simple. I just take the flat spot, put some silicone on it. That stuff does make a mess. It's a pretty strong smell. I'm not using as much as I normally would. So, and then all I'm doing here is just pressing it to the spot where I want it. And then just holding it for about 3-4 seconds. And then release. And it's fine. It's staying. Some of them they move around a little bit if you move them. But if you just keep pressing it, the silicone will take like 24 hours to dry. So I'm not too worried about it. I got time to sit and figure out how I want to fix some of the other gaps that are a little concerning to me, but not so much. Like down here, a little tricky to get my hand down there. So what I might do down here at this, at this very bottom, right here in this corner, that would probably be my main spot where I'm going to spray foam. And everything that I use on these vivariums are pond spray foam. It's all safe for a pond, so it's safe for fish, so it's safe for the frogs. And that's like I said, too, if it's safe for the frogs, they're a lot more delicate than like my cats. Then it's safe for them, too. I mean, not that they're going to be eating the stuff or anything. I'm just like the smell of it. The smell of it is, honestly, I thought it was going to be worse than what it is, but it's really not. And I guess that's because I'm not using a whole lot of it like I did on this one. How big is the tank itself? This one is, okay, so 18 this way, 18 inches this way, 18 inches in diameter, and 24 inches high. So it's about equivalent to a 20-gallon fish tank, only turned up, on its side, and standing up. The tank that's next to me is equivalent to a 60-gallon fish tank. So, but like I said too, it's really fun to do, because eventually, what you're gonna see next after I'm done with this whole background is you're gonna see how this looks when it grows in. I do have to wait for a little bit to plant it, because you gotta let like the smell of the silicone, the smell of the cork pieces, you gotta kind of give it some time to clear out before, and you don't want anything. I'm not using substrate anymore on my bottom. So if you look here, this is a foam. It's also a pond filter foam. And this stuff is great. I did another tank in my room, my first one that I did with a pond filter foam. It literally is amazing. I couldn't believe how well this tank came out. That tank in my room. It cycled fairly quickly. So the other thing that I'm doing with it, which is what I did, I don't know if it has any effect. It was just something I chose to do. I have alongside some of these tanks, I have the water because you got to mist the enclosure. So I have the water dripping from the drainage system into like a gallon, like an empty water gallon bucket container. And what I did in that one is I soaked the foam in that particular water, because it's really good for like your house plants. Like, honestly, if someone really wanted to, you could sell that stuff on the market as organic fertilizer. Because I used to use it in plants that I had in my house, but the cats destroyed them. They knocked them all over the place. So I was like, okay, the heck with plants in here. But it would make the plants. I used to use it in my outdoor plants. My flowers were beautiful when I lived in my house. So it is all organic matter that's in there. So it's safe, and it works amazing. When I tell you, my plants and my flowers were beautiful on that property. I'm not kidding you. It's all because of the drainage, because all this is it's basically what I'm creating here. What I have created with the other enclosures is it's just a little ecosystem inside of your home. So you can literally bring nature home. You have nature inside of your home. People are like, oh, but the frogs need to be out in the wild. Little do people know, most of these types of dart frogs are extinct. So basically, we're just helping the population, if you really wanted to put it in any other way, really. So, but yeah, it's coming along, and I'm actually enjoying doing this, because it's like some of these pieces I actually broke them in half, because they are very thick. I want to say that what they used to make this was probably about a 3 to 4 inch piece of cork bark, if not bigger, like the thickness, because the pieces are big, and like that would be the back, because it's flat. So, and like you can see the thickness in it. So I want to say that looks like a flat piece. So yeah, it's about a 2-inch piece of cork panel that they probably used. There was a company that was advertising it, and I was like, you know what, let me give it a shot, because I couldn't find the panels anywhere. I was going nuts, and I was a little annoyed, but it's okay, because everybody, and see, look, it just kind of like fits right in there like a puzzle piece. So, and then I haven't siliconed it, so you see the gap there, and then this piece just kind of boom right in like a puzzle, and then the frog will still have a spot to stand if they want to. So I'm going to silicone that piece in. Oh, my stupid silicone gun here. Okay. And so yeah, the silicone just kind of smells like vinegar. About how many frogs could live in here. What I'll be putting in here, you could put this size tank. You can have it's required to have either a pair, which would be a male and a female, or you can have a trio, which would be three of thumbnail frogs because they're a smaller frog. But then again, a pair of thumbnails, like I have a pair of thumbnails, and which are smaller frogs. So if you like watch some, I was just watching yesterday actually. BBC had it was just a live thing they were doing, and they actually were talking about dart frogs, and they showed what's called the strawberry dart frog, which is what they call it. It's an Ophaga pumilio, and they're thumbnails, so they're very small. Whereas you got some others that are about roughly about an inch to almost 2 inches, depending on what breed of frog that you choose to get. What's gonna go, as long as I like the way this tank comes out, I'm gonna put the pair that I have in my room. They're called a Ophaga histrionica Tatos. So, and they breed very well. It's just their tank, I've got to do a nice redo on it anyway. I want to take out certain plants. Some of the plants are just like not too overwhelmingly grown, but I feel like it's just, it's not the way I want it. So if this one comes out really good, I'm going to put that pair in here. And on this, what I can do too is I can easily attach bromeliads to, which is the plants that hold water. And so yeah, it's getting there. It's coming out. So, and then it's like, see, I keep on grabbing pieces, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, look, this fits right in. Actually, no, this one we could put right there. So, and I actually don't think any of that's going to be much of a problem. I don't feel like the frogs are going to, I'll probably find another piece. So this piece here, the way it's broken, this is definitely a corner because this is flat and this side's flat right here. So that's definitely, so what I'm going to do is put that in the corner. I'll just add some silicone. This stuff does kind of, it's not potent, but it can get to you a little bit. I do have it on my hands, so if I keep putting my hands by my face, of course I'm going to be sniffing it, so. And yeah, it smells like vinegar, very, very strong vinegar. So, and then we're just going to slide this. Oh, actually, that just fit in there perfectly. Hold it for a few seconds. Did a little butt there, but see, it's fun. Nothing's really, it's working out great. I'm actually like now that I'm really looking at, because in the beginning when I started this, I was like, I don't know if I did the right thing, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, I can attach this here, I could put a plant here, I have horticulture wire, so I'll put that, and I could just poke it straight into this. And technically, you won't even see the background because the bromeliad will just grow, or wherever I decide to put the bromeliad. So the object that I'm doing here is to try to get this side covered. This side I'm going to have to wait on because I want to finish. I want to get that back down there on the bottom. I want to get that bottom with some spray foam. And then the rest, though, we're doing... It's coming. I might have there's a couple of spots over here I might spray some spray foam into too. But all it'll do is just go into the back. And I'm not going to do a lot because I don't want it to push it. So I might just have to do the bottom spot. I might just wait. Actually, I will wait till it dries. You know what I'm going to do actually now I think about it? I probably break off some pieces like this and wedge them into some of those spots, put a little more silicone and just pack it in, instead of using the spray foam. Because I don't want sometimes what spray foam does, except for that bottom right there, I may have no choice. But we'll see how that goes later on. And it's a little tight for me, but I don't care because I absolutely love this. So I might take one of the panels and do one of the panels here a little bit. So this way here I can put it in, and then I'll just take some sort of a scraper and scrape it down so that this way here it gives it that rustic looking aesthetic to it. So, but yeah, I really enjoy doing this stuff. It's great. I've had people tell me that, like, you know what? I'm like, listen, you think my tanks come out good? There's some people, there's some guys out there with some amazing stuff, like Troy Goldberg. He's got amazing setups, and the person who actually introduced to the Dart Frog community the cork panel background he's on Instagram. His name's Sharif. He's a bunch of tanks. He's called. That's his name on Instagram. So he's mostly an Instagram guy, which is great. And then when we first saw this, people were like, oh, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, we're like, wait a minute. It's easier. And then Troy's the one who actually started doing the foam bottoms. So you learn from these guys, and they're great. Like I can't brag about how amazing this whole hobby is. There's some great people in it. Mike Gravia with these builds that he's been doing. He's been doing some amazing builds. He's also on Instagram. He just started a YouTube channel, and yeah, but he makes these things, and they come out. It looks like so real. Once the best part, are there lots of frog people on YouTube? There is a decent amount of people on YouTube. You got like I said, Troy. Now Mike Gravia, but Mike Gravia is mostly doing his builds. He is doing builds for other reptiles. Then you got, let's see, who else is most there's another guy. The heck is his? I forgot the other guy's name, but I'll put his in my postage. Something, I forgot his name. I forgot his YouTube name, but he is on there. He's I think he's actually from Ohio too, where Troy's from. But yeah, he's there's quite a few people on that are into the hobby. A lot of us do a lot of Instagram. I get, because I don't know why, but well, we used to do a lot of live streams, but nobody really doing them anymore. So it's kind of getting like, it kind of sucks, but it's okay. I mean, some people got things to do. You got a life to live. Things like that. Things come up in our lives. We all know that. So it is what it is. But yeah, but other than that, see that piece? It's perfectly right there. Because it's got like the flat edge, and a flat back. So I'm just going to wedge that one right into the bottom corner there. But other than that, yeah, no, I love this hobby. It really, and let me tell you what, the people that are involved in it are amazing. They're like very down to earth, and very laid back. I mean, we don't put up with bullshit, but, oh shit, I don't think I should have had to. Here I am talking away, and I didn't have to silicone that part. That was a bitch. It's okay. It's okay, not a big deal. I really didn't have to silicone that part because of the spray foam, but that's okay. Just wipe it off a little bit. And just give it a nice hold. And then, like, as I'm in here, like, smelling this, it doesn't really smell that bad. Like, you can smell the silicone a little bit, but as far as, like, this piece, you can't smell it. It doesn't have an odor or anything. So, for the most part, I think it'll be good within the next, like, couple of weeks. And then I'll put plants in it. The frogs won't go in for another month. It's kind of like a fish tank. You got to let it cycle. How are your kitties doing? They're doing good. People settled down having tadpoles. Yes, I have tadpoles. I have a few. I actually got to do their little bin tonight. I clean it out. I do change their water. I clean out their bin, give them fresh Indian almond leaves. And yeah, it's really intriguing. It's really interesting hobby, to be honest with you. I really liked it. I got involved big time a lot during COVID because there was absolutely nothing to do. And before COVID, I was researching it because I did just get a chameleon before that, like a couple years before that. So I happened to be researching and just looking. I was given the chameleon. It wasn't a planned thing, but it was okay though. I took great care of him. He lived for a long time, so I wasn't too worried about it. He is now with a friend of mine, which is fine because I couldn't bring his enclosure in my new apartment when I moved. And I was going to get him back, but she's like, please, can I keep him? I love him. And I'm like, okay, you can keep him. I'll get another one. I'll get something different. You know, not a big deal. But, let me see, that spot, I could stuff this piece. No, too big. I'm going to wait for that to dry. So some pieces, what I'm kind of doing is like figuring out where to stuff them into here. And then, oops, shit. Sorry. And I'm just kind of leaving them down here inside the enclosure so that this way here I know that that's where I want to use in one of those gaps or spots that are open. But yeah, I love it though. Chameleons were popular in the 70s. Yes, they were very popular in the 70s. And in fact, down in Florida towards the Everglades, there was a guy who used to breed them and had a huge chameleon zoo, literally. And that's how the population pretty much started. I don't know what happened. From what I've heard, he lost the place, couldn't afford it anymore, and just pretty much packed up and left. So that left the chameleons there. And then they, of course, got out, and then they bred all over the place. There's a lot of veiled chameleons down in the Everglades. And very rare. You see some panther chameleons, but not as many as you do the veiled chameleons. Those are the ones with like the big horn on top of their heads. But yeah, it's unfortunately, poor Florida gets wiped out with, with all of them. We had one, but I suspect the container was too. Yeah, you have to have the enclosure that I kept my guy in. It was 2 feet by 2 feet by 4 foot high. Plus, I built a cabinet underneath it, so then I put it on top of that. So he was technically up about 6 feet high. So they like to be up high, is that's how a chameleon is. But yeah, they're very tricky to take care of too. They have to have their humidity has to be right. You have to give calcium on their food, same like I do with my dart frogs. But yeah, they're not an easy animal to take care of. The easiest ones to care for are the veiled chameleons. Because the veiled chameleons are just a little more forgiving chameleon, kind of. Whereas if you go with a panther, it's a lot. You really got to know what you're doing. 'Cause they're very sensitive, and they stress out very quickly, and you don't want that. You know, if you stress them out too much, you know, it could be a catastrophe. They could end up dying from literal stress. So. So that was like one of the first things I learned about chameleons is how they can literally die from stress, which was upsetting. I was like, what? So I made sure he was in a very quiet environment and there was nothing to disturb him. He was it was weird because I guess he liked my cats. And people were like, oh, no, you can't put the chameleon near the cats. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, my chameleon loves them. They sit there looking at each other like, yeah, and? So I was like, all right, whatever you say. Or, you know, everybody wants to be an expert on everything. So, of course, you know, whatever you're doing is completely wrong. But he was fine. He was happy, healthy. I brought him to a veterinarian because I didn't know where he came from. I wasn't sure if he was wild caught. So I brought him into a veterinarian to have him dewormed, which is, and no parasites or anything. So you want to make sure you do that with a chameleon too. Shit, this is gonna. I don't want to leave too much. Actually. Yeah, as I'm looking at the amount that's in this box, I'm either gonna have to get another box of this, or I'm going to have to bust up some of the cork panels that I have. I do like some of them. Like I said, it has like a ledge on there where they could just sit there. That's what they choose to do. I'm probably gonna have to use my panels and break them up. I'll probably silicone a bunch together tonight because this isn't gonna be enough to do this whole side. I might be able to get through this side here with the amount that I got. So it's either I get more or I just use the panels for this side. I might use the panels for this side. So you got to equivalent for the door too. So the door, you got a little space here where you actually need to keep space here. So we'll see what happens though. Probably the way I'm looking, I might have to either break out the panels or get another box of this, but it didn't take too long to get here. So I have time. I have other things I'm waiting for in order to like have this enclosure set up. I have a shipment coming from Frog Daddy. He's a great, awesome dart frogist. He's most Facebook and Instagram. He doesn't do YouTube, I don't think. And he's got all kinds of amazing frogs. He's got plants. So that's some of the stuff that I ordered from him. So what I do with the plants is I let them sit for a little while in a bin before I plant them. You know, kind of quarantine them, which you want to do, because just in case there's nothing on it. But I mean, everything he has is safe, so I'm not too overly concerned about it. But it's just something that I naturally do when it comes to anything with my frog, anything with any of my animals, really. I really try to be safe about it. I'm gonna have to wedge a piece underneath that. This thing keeps on dripping. So. And then, yeah, so, new place this year. I'm thinking not a pet for children to look after. No, chameleons are definitely not a pet for a kid to look after. Definitely not. Definitely not. They're a decent amount of work. You gotta have proper misting. They need 3 minutes of misting every 12 hours in their enclosure. It's got to be humid. And, yeah, they're a lot of work. I'm getting a new place this year, so I'm hoping to get... Oh, good, Cricket. That's awesome. I like dogs. I wish I could have a dog, but my cats won't. They will not approve of that. Not that they're bothered by them. Where I used to live, we had a real noisy little dog next door to us who barked at literally anything. The cat be in the window and the dog would be barking at him. And they weren't really fazed by it. And then the people next to me had a pit bull that used to get out all the time. And if I walked outside my house and then went into the back, that dog would bark, the other dog would bark. But they weren't really fazed by it. But I don't think in the complex I live in, they'll allow me to have a dog. They'll probably look at me like I'm crazy. So, yeah, dogs. We actually came up with an idea as to what I'm gonna do here. So, yeah, that piece I'm gonna have to wedge something in. I'm gonna have to break into a little piece. But yeah, this is starting to come together fairly well. Like I said, I am enjoying the way these pieces just kind of like interlock like a puzzle. So this piece here, I'm gonna like literally break this off. So boom, like that. And now that makes two pieces. This is a flat side and a little bit of a smaller piece that I can put into one of these spaces here. And then I still have the bigger piece. But yeah, this, like I said, this is the first time I'm using this particular stuff. This cork panel. I've never even seen the company. It just happened to pop up on my Facebook. And I was like, is this true? Is this real? Or is this some sort of, scam? I wasn't sure. Because it didn't have like a lot of likes or anything like that. And then I'm looking and I'm like, all right, let me give it a try. And it came in, and like I said, I'm pretty happy with it, other than the fact that it's, if I was doing a flat background, or maybe just a piece of like like a branch coming out of certain sides, it would have been a lot different. This was it was a little tricky to do with this. So, because like I said, I got to stuff into that back so none of the frogs could get in. But as it dries, which will be tomorrow, I'll check and see where I feel if my finger can go in there, then my frog might be able to. So I'll stuff it in with just like broken pieces and a little bit of silicone just to close it in. But other than that, I'm pretty much liking it. And like I said, too, everything's just going to be covered. So these certain little spots where you see light, you're not going to be able to see it because the plants are going to cover it, and so is all the moss that's going to grow in. But it's going to look cool. This stuff, supposedly, too, this cork panel, it's like a mold enhancer, so you won't get any mold. And that's the whole point, too, with using the aquarium-safe silicone and the, what do you call it, the pond spray foam. It's for ponds, like fish ponds. So this, and it's also a mold, and you don't get mold. So, but yeah, it's good. Now there are certain spots that like I have to wait to do, like over here, because I want these to dry. So I'll come back to it tomorrow, and then like I said, I gotta leave a spot up here for my mister, and I'll just kind of go this way and then down, and then I'll figure out this side of the tank as I'm sitting here looking at it. The best part about this was I sat here and literally looked at an empty tank. And when he was making this, I was like, and I'm visualizing on what to do, how to do it, and how I'm going to go about doing it. So, but yeah, we're getting there. It's not bad. It's a little bit of a project, but not really. And then before I started doing the background, I sat there and just looked at this sitting in there. And I was like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And now when all this is done, what I'll sit down and do is while it's, airing out and trying to get all that smell out, I'll sit there and try and figure out exactly where and what plants I want to use inside of it. So, but yeah, other than that, it's pretty interesting. So I'm going to go up along. Let's see. I'm going to give myself a barrier, actually. And start coming this way. And then down, yeah, because I have a line on the outside. And then see how far we got. Let me see, which way did I do that? This way? Yeah. And then this one again will give another ledge for the frog to stand on. Wait a minute, maybe we'll stick this right. There we go. Yeah, now it gives the frog a little ledge to stand on, and I can go back and forth. How are your cats doing? When you first came on, I thought it was a whalebone. A whalebone. Oh, shit. Okay, actually, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go this way. Okay. Close it in. I have had like other tanks that I had questionable parts, like spots actually, questionable spots as to whether or not my frog would get stuck in there. And I mean, like I said, the moss just grows in. You can't even see the spot anymore. And all my frogs are still alive, so they're okay. Nothing happened to them. So and they didn't get stuck. They didn't get hurt. I've had people say, "Oh, can't the frog get stuck in there or hurt?" And or it can happen. I'm not gonna lie, it can happen. I've never had it. Knock on wood, I have never had it happen before. So I I don't want to speak too soon either, because I do cherish this hobby very much so. And God forbid something were to happen, I would be very upset. Because some of these frogs are extremely expensive, and it takes a long time for me to be able to afford to get them. So I have to kind of work with my budget. And they are very intelligent. I have to give it that. They are very smart. Sometimes, don't quote me. Sometimes they're not too smart. I have a coconut hut in one of my tanks, which is naturally used for, you put a coconut hut in there and you put a petri dish, and that's where they'll deposit their tadpoles or their eggs, and then you can pull them and do them yourself. So I have one frog that always seems, there's a hole in the top of the coconut hut, and every once in a while she just, I don't know why, she likes to go in there and then just kind of sit there and look at me like, yeah, I can't get out. And I had to put my hand or my finger underneath just where her legs are and just kind of help her push herself out. So it's, I don't know why she does it. I mean, she can get out on her own. I have watched her get out on her own, but sometimes I get a little paranoid and I'm like, no, 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 you can't get stuck in there. So I haven't had any catastrophes with it. Now that it's so grown in, that particular coconut hut, it's got moss covering it. You can't even see the hole anymore. So I'm not worried about it anymore. She definitely don't get stuck in there too much any longer. And she can't, actually. She can't even see it. So I don't know why she would do it, though. It was just like the weirdest thing. I was like, okay, if that's what you want to do, get stuck in the coconut hut. That's on you. Let's see. And then yeah, I'm running out of pieces over here, so definitely gonna have to break up some. Actually, I'm butting into everything. I'm gonna let this dry. Yeah, I'll finish it up tomorrow. Hold on. I don't know if I could keep this silicone. Shit. Yeah, it'll probably dry up. My kit didn't come with a plug. Let me just use up the rest of the silicone in here so I don't waste it. It's not cheap, this shit. Oh, wait, here's some nice pieces. Oh, this could be two pieces. So, Let's see. And I'll keep checking this as like the night comes and the day, as the day goes on and the night comes. I'll keep checking and make sure no pieces fall, but I don't think so. They seem pretty snug. It's just when I'm wedging a piece in there, I'm kind of moving it around, and I don't want an air bubble in the back of the silicone. So let's actually start doing this bottom spot right here. And then I'll probably take some silicone pieces. Some the panels, and just silicone them together and let them dry overnight. And go from there with that, because I'm going to definitely have to use that. And then what I like to do when I put a closure together and it's all cycled and ready to go, one cat passed away and another ran away last year. Oh my God, Cricket, I'm so sorry. Aw. Aw, that's sad. What color are they? Color are the frogs? The frogs that are going in here are they are an orange and like a light brown. I'll show you them once I'm finished doing this. I'll bring the camera over to the tank in my room where they are. They got a couple of babies in there that I'm going to be shipping out soon to a friend of mine. And I can't wait for that, because then I'll have room in that enclosure. I want to get them in here. I also have to wait for the weather to be sufficient enough. And at this point, I don't know what our weather's doing. This weather is so insanely crazy here. This whole winter has been like, I could not believe what type of winter we had. We actually I'm not gonna lie, we deserved it, because we've had very, very mild winters, and we really deserved all the snow and everything else that happened here. We definitely deserved it. It's been very mild as years have gone by. We haven't had blizzards. I think we've gone, the last brutal winter we had was like 2016. So we were due for it. It was time for Long Island to get slammed with some bad winter. So, but yeah, it's just starting to come together. It's starting to come together as more like naturally looking. At this point right now, I'm just kind of guessing where to put some of these little smaller pieces. And of course, I got silicone everywhere, but that's okay. The trick is just so the frogs don't get stuck. But the way I'm looking at it from this angle, they can't get stuck back there. So. Yeah, I definitely should have gotten 2 cases of this stuff now that I'm looking at it, because I actually like, as it's going on, people lose their minds here over snow as if they don't live in right? I know, I hear you. This winter was weird. It's been crazy. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, that one snowstorm that we just had, I was like, sure. It's like, man, Mother Nature does not like Long Island for some reason. So Mother Nature hates Long Island this year. Like, I don't know what we did to her. But we would, like I said though, we would do. It was time. 2016 was like the worst we had. And it's been a long time coming. So we pretty much, we deserved the winter that we got. So if you look here, a little bit of silicone seeped through. That's nothing, because what I can do here as I'm looking in this box, and just take a small piece here, and just silicone it right to it. And then it locks it in. And you can barely see it. So see, these are some of the things that I'm showing you is like things that I learned as I got into the hobby from other creators that have like amazing enclosures. Like Troy Goldberg's enclosures are, I'm like, wow, I wish I could do that. He's got amazing stuff. And he makes his own tanks. Like he just gets the glass and he makes the tank. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm a little scared. I'll be the one to break it. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll try it one day when I get a little more confidence, because I'm definitely afraid of the fact that I would smash it, break it, not do it right, something wouldn't work right, so. And then some of the excess silicone that'll be left over, I can always just pick it off. It'll harden up to like kind of like a rubbery, and you can just pick it off a little bit. I've done that before with other tanks that I put together. So you figure this tank is 1818 by 24, and this was the box that I got was, I think it was 21 ounces from the company. And it's definitely not enough. You would definitely need two 21-ounce boxes for a 18-18-24, in my opinion. So, also too, depending on how aesthetic you want it, because I'm looking at some of these pieces, I could have broke another piece off of some of them, but I still have the panels that I could glue, that I could silicone together and break them up to make them look just like that too. So I might actually silicone 2 or 3 together. I think I have 15 panels. They're small though. They're only like 12 inches by 12 inches. So they're small, but I can silicone them together. They're only like a ½ inch thick. And I'll probably silicone like either 2 or 3 together, depending on the thickness. And then I could just break it up just like that and make it and do the same thing. But I like to support small businesses, especially with things that are going on in the world today. I don't mind supporting a small business, especially one that's dedicated to doing backgrounds for like what I like to do. I think that's probably why it came up on my Facebook page, because of other places other pages I'm involved with. Who knows? But it just literally out of nowhere popped up, and I was like, let me give it a try. And like I said, it's a small business. I don't mind helping out small businesses at all, because we got, the big orange turd in there that guess doesn't like small businesses, but whatever. Must be nice to be filthy rich so you can afford everything in the world. Some people don't have that luxury. We have to do what we got to do in order to survive. And so do small businesses, It's the same like, there's a few small businesses that I deal with that are in the dart frog hobby or reptile hobby. What's the other one that I deal with too? It's Finn's Frog Farm. Finn's Frog. I think I'm saying it right. They're great, nice people. Sometimes I order fruit fly media from them. Something, because it's a small business. Frog Daddy, I order a lot of stuff from. So every month I put in an order for it's always over $100. So. But it helps support him, and he gives like kickback too, which is great. And you deal with him on a personal level. You talk to him. You can email him, contact him on whatever platform you talk to him on. This stuff's getting to me too, so having it, so I gotta stop putting my hand by my face. Because I still, like I said, I still have some on my fingers. I think we are about out of pieces. Oh, there's another one. So, well, yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some panels that I have. And I'm going to silicone them together. And it's going to have to wait 24 hours to dry. I might, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So let's see if I can make, because I have enough silicone left, plus I have like 2 other bottles left. And I want to see if, I think these are 2 inches thick. That's why I said I'll be right back. Let me grab those panels. Hi, kitties. Showing in the window. Oh, the other good part is, too, is I have a bunch of, like, crumbled up pieces in there. So that's going to work out really good, actually. So here, I'll show you. Yeah, these are, oh, they're thinner. Oh, shit. I thought they were a 1/2 inch. They're like a 1/4 of an inch. So this is the panels I have. And they're very thin. So I'm going to do, let me just grab a couple. Yeah, so I'm going to have to silicone 3 of them together to at least get that thickness. So that's not going to take me too long. It takes me like 2 seconds while I have all the silicone out. I don't want to waste the silicone because for some reason, I don't know why, but this particular one that I bought, it didn't come with a plug. The other one I had, it came with like a plug so I could plug in the tip of it, but this one didn't have one. I don't know why. And I lent the other one to a friend and never got it back, so that didn't help out as much. And I'm just gonna flip this, just like so. Clamp this down. I'm probably gonna put like a book on top of it, and I'll show you what I did here in 1 second. Put this piece here. So this is just, like I said, I've never seen anybody do this. So this is the first time I'm doing it, so I don't know. It should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, it's the same thing as having a panel. The size that I was originally looking for, but they're totally out of stock, so. And then I'll futz around with this tomorrow, because you definitely got to give this like 24 hours to dry. So what I did is I siliconed 3 pieces together. And they're, like I said, they're small, so. But then I'm gonna put, let's see, what I got that's heavy around here. Actually, I'm just gonna put the box on top of it. Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna put the box on top of it. There we go. So that's my way of holding it down. So inside the box is a bunch of other panels. This was originally what I was gonna use. I try to go to local businesses as much as possible, especially convenience stores. Yeah, I hear you, Cricket. So do I. I really do. And like I said, I do always like to support small businesses because it's really sad what this world has come to, and the way, I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest with you, because there's really no explanation for it. There's no explanation for people not caring or, basically belittling other people just because they're not wealthy. Like, that's just utterly ridiculous. And then, here, I'll take it to the, I have this on this pole thing. That's my TV. So these, she's out too. This is what you would call a thumbnail frog. That's a tiny little one. There is a couple babies in here. I just haven't seen them. They're probably under the leaves. That's a larger frog. These would be larger. There's another one there. These are called philibates. They're a bigger form of a frog than the thumbnails. Thumbnails are small, but they're super cute. Thumbnails are adorable. You do have to be a little careful with thumbnails. They're more sensitive than your larger frogs. Let's see who's out in here. Of course, nobody. Oh, so there you go. That's the that's the male. So him and his mate are gonna be going into the tank I'm doing now. So that's a Histrionica, Ophaga Histrionica Tato. The next frogs I'm looking at getting are really unique. They are, very unique. So they're called redheads. The name fits them because, yes, they have a red head. And they have, so I'm not sure what I want, large form or small form, because you have either or. Large form, of course, would be a larger frog. A larger size than frog. The small form would be like your thumbnail size frog. So either one, they are absolutely beautiful as far as color and everything else. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for my next type of frog I'm going to be getting. But like I said, I'm not quite sure which one I want, large or I'm definitely going with redheads. And I'll post some pictures of them I'll ask Troy first, of course, because he's really the only one I know with some awesome pictures of the frogs he has. I'll ask him. I'm sure he won't mind if I share his pictures. He's a really good guy, so I don't think he would care if I used his pictures. This is another tank. I'm going to be doing the bottoms of these. I just got all the stuff to redo the bottoms because I'm going with no substrate at all in any of my tanks. Every tank's going to be foam, filter foam. Some other stuff, I forget the name of what it's called. It starts with an M, but it's used for ponds. So it's safe for the frogs. And they're going to have to come out of the enclosures for at least 30 days while it cycles and does its thing. But I'm trying to find something and I lost it. Oh, here's this. I don't need that just yet. What in the hell is going on? Sorry I'm dragging it around my house, but trying to look for something and I can't find what I'm looking for. And of course the cat jumps up on top. So that's why, I have to use LED lights for these tanks. So I have to tape mine down. Because my cats will, just like he's doing, they'll sit up there and hang out. They like it. It's, the lights are warm, so they like to sit up there. So I don't mind it too much. Was that a bromeliad? Yes, that's a bromeliad. That's the type of plant. When I come back inside, I'll show you the ones that I just got that I'm quarantining right now. The other cat's sitting on top of that because the light's on it, so I didn't want to disturb the cat. So, of course, that's how I am. But it's not bad out here today, but it's a little chilly. Oh, maybe a lot chilly. I shouldn't have wore a t-shirt out. That's okay. So, I just want to smoke a cigarette real quick. Do you think a social media ban for under 16 makes sense to protect childhood, or is it simply unrealistic today? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want some of the things that on social media today, just like, yeah, I agree, Cricket. I wouldn't suggest it for kids. There's so much going on in this world, right? Especially what's going on now in this world. I wouldn't want my teenager on social media at all, fearing they could be bullied. And we know what sometimes ends up happening when it comes to being bullied. So I wouldn't want that to happen. I wouldn't want any child subjected to that at all. So yeah, I do think they should ban. I think it should be 18 and over, to be honest. 16 is still very young, very impressionable. I do, I'm big with 18 and under is off limits type person, so I don't agree with 16. I would think 18. 18 and over, then you're a little more mature. Also, too, depending on how you're raised. But I wouldn't want a kid subjected to the things that are done and said on social media. You know what I mean? It's just, like I said, bullying, and it's sad what happens to kids. I see it a lot. And we know what happens nowadays, at least when it comes to bullying. We see either unfortunately, the child unalives themselves, or they revert to shooting up a school. These were things that were never heard of when I was a kid. I got bullied, picked on, laughed at my whole life. And I never once thought to grab a gun and shoot up my entire school. I never ever in my life thought to do that. Nor would I ever. It's just, I don't understand. It's different today, though. And I get it. Kids are raised different. Things are 1,000 times different than they were, back then in the 80s and the 90s. Now it's pretty bad. Unfortunately. But yeah. My opinion. I don't blame you, Cricket. I really don't. I don't like seeing what I see. And a lot of things that are happening. That's not right, and it's sad. And these kids are, unfortunately, they're the ones that suffer from it, and it's really hard. Some of the things I see that happen on social media with young people. I used to watch Eugenia Cooney, I think her name was. She was very, very skinny, and it was. But when I would read the comments on some of her videos, I was like, oh my God, leave the girl alone. Like, what are you doing? And I get some people were legitimately concerned. Like myself, I was very concerned. Like, yeah, I would go in there and I would check and see, okay, good, she's alive. Because she was something wasn't right. Like, she was very skinny. Almost skeletal skinny looking. So, as moderator, I've seen people say the most yeah, Cricket, I see it too. We moderate on some channels that, they say some pretty nasty things, and they say nasty things to the person that's, doing the live stream or video, and I've seen it in comment sections too. I'm like, why are you, who cares? People are people. Let the people do what they're doing. It's like me. I'm sitting there doing my thing. For all you know, some crazy dude. What are you doing? You sniffing it? You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna eat them? I had someone say it on my Facebook. I can't stand Facebook anymore. I'm really done with it. I can't believe, even friends I grew up with, where I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm done with you. Like, I'm really done with you. Like, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to know. I don't even want anyone to know I know you. That's how bad it's gotten, and it's pretty sad, to be honest with you. My neighbor just drove by. But, it's, like, Facebook is really bad. I would never let my teenager on Facebook at all. Even I have a friend of mine whose kid's on Snapchat, and I'm like, you're crazy. And she's just turned 13. So I'm like, you let that kid on Snapchat? She's like trying to be friends with me on there. I'm like, nah, I'm good. My neighbor, he thinks it's cool. I got the phone standing up on the stick thing. But yeah, I don't agree with the whole too much bullying. And the sad part is some of these kids today, like these younger ones, are going to be learning it from our own president on bullying and how it's just okay to do in his eyes, which in all due reality, it is not okay. You know, you put yourself in that person's position and look in the position he's in right now. I've been watching Midas Media and I've been seeing, and as you look at him, and it's just how much of denial the man is in. I'm like, dude, you're scary, bro. I can't believe you're running our country. And the other thing that really annoys me too, I wish somebody would talk about this, is the fact that, you know, you got a convicted felon up there as our president running our country, but yet somebody with a felony on their record cannot vote. Well, you could be the president, but you can't vote. None of it makes any sense to me, to be honest. And I've never really, and 99.9% of my friends know, I've never done the political stuff, but once this started really going down with ICE and everything else, I was like, wait a minute. Honestly, it's true. You can't stay silent. You have to, you know, do what's right, what you feel is right. You can't stay silent right now. Now's not the time for people to be quiet. And I really strongly agree with that. You know, if you stay silent, then you're just adding to it. You know, in my point of view. But yeah, it's definitely a scary world right now. Yeah, and also they're collecting all kinds of information about everyone, including young people. Yes, Cricket, that's the thing that worries me too. And not only that, but if you look at the Epstein files, you'll see that the ones that are named, and yes, I forgot the company's name, but it's the company that took your child's picture in school. So basically, it's like a Sears catalog for pedophiles. And that's how they're picking their kids that they want, from what I was reading. I had to stop reading the files because I felt it really mentally bothering me a lot. To the point where I was like, yeah, I gotta stop reading this stuff because it's just making me very depressed, upset, and very angry too at the same time. Like all those emotions in one. All from reading some of these files, and then I was just like, yeah, I don't think I should be doing this anymore. This is really getting to me. And it was. Like, I was talking to people, and they were like, oh my God, I know. And they had the same feeling like I did. Like, oh my God, what the hell? This is crazy. And it is. It's nuts. It's absurd. I just could not believe it. What I was reading and what I was seeing is, it's not normal. That's for sure. Not normal at all. But yeah, so, but me too, I can support justice without being yeah, I hear you. It's really crazy. What's going on? Hi, Coco. Oh, my neighbor's dog. So cute. Hi, Coco. Hi. Here you go. Where's Cricket? Let me see. My friend wants to get a dog. Come here. Here's a little doggy. Hi, my name is Ty. I'm Coco, and I'm the sweetest little dog. Hi, Coco. I see that. You going for walks now? Yeah, this is Coco's. He's the sweetest little dog. Oh, God bless you. You smell the kitties, huh? Uh-huh. Definitely smells the cats. What you doing, bud? He's so cute. Good, how you doing?
I like your little yeah.
Thingy on?
Now,
so cute, right?
Now you gonna make me get one. So when I'm out here in the summertime, we sit here.
Yeah, sit here and just watch. Yeah.
I'm gonna get one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How much was that you bought on Amazon?
Yeah, I think it was like $30.
Oh,
It goes way up too. I'm gonna put you guys way up in the sky.
I need it. Certain level. That's it.
This thing just keeps on
no,
going.
Man. Certain eye view. Nope.
Look, I gotta stand up just to
put
put
up.
up.
Even worse. Now you got me really interested. Oh shit.
And then you can just hold it all the way up. You wanna take a long
Too much out there. You gotta be like, yeah,
it was cheap. It was.
Have a ball.
Oh hell yeah! It was like cheap. It was like $30 or something.
That's not bad at all.
Nah, and I found it was on Amazon. Definitely on Amazon.
Cause you got your city.
Yeah, sure.
How you been?
Good. How you doing? Coco's cute, right? I love Coco.
Oh man. So, but when I don't have it on, I love it. When I don't have it on, because he feels like he's free to whatever he
He's
wants to
free.
do, and he knows he won't go nowhere.
Aww.
Yeah. Come
Coco's
on.
so cute. Yeah, let me get in. It's actually cold out here. I didn't put on a coat. Here I am thinking it's nice and warm out. My friendly neighbors. I got a lot of great neighbors around here. I can't complain. We all get along great. Sit and talk. Hang out. It's chilly though. It's got real cold. It was a little warm earlier. This is supposedly 55 degrees. This ain't 55 degrees. This is more like 35. Oh yeah, it's cold out there. Ooh, a lot warmer in here. But yeah, no, it's yeah, Coco is adorable. Coco is the cutest little dog. When they first got Coco, I was like, oh my god, you got a little dog. They got it for the kids. He has two youngins, young kids. And I couldn't believe how adorable that dog is. And very friendly, very sociable. I think it's a Shih Tzu. He looks like a Shih Tzu. He might be a little bit mixed with something else, but I don't think so. I think he's mostly Shih Tzu. Absolutely adorable, though. And I told her, I said, you're going to have to groom him because that type of fur, those types of dogs, people like to put, like I'm talking from somebody that's groomed dogs. You don't want to put a shirt on them because they get very matted. But they are absolutely adorable. Shih Tzus are really, really cute. I'm big into Shih Tzus and long-haired cats. So majority of my cats are long-haired. I can't find my one little one. I don't know. Oh, she's in the closet. My one cat loves to go in the closet. It's like her spot. That's where she'll hang out. And she don't, it's her thing. But... So, but all right, I'm going to end this. I'm going to do another one tomorrow and see how this triple layer cork tile turns out and see how it's going to be when I break it up. I'm probably going to have to like scratch up the front with like a screwdriver to give it that rustic look and then just break pieces of it off. And then go from there in order to finish the rest. Plus there's spots that I have to let it dry before I stuff more pieces into there. And so, but yeah, definitely if you're into doing these types of enclosures and you have that particular size and you order from this company, you're going to want 2 boxes of their 21 quart because it's not enough. And normally you would do the entire background and the sides. I have the stump in there, the butterus roots, so that actually frees up some space in order to, so I don't have to put the cork in there. Have a great night. Thank you, Cricket. You too. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out, Cricket. I appreciate it. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.